Welcome back to the Observations at Taylor podcast.
Today we'll be covering the topic of pollution on campus.
On today's episode, we're going out on campus and interviewing two people who have experienced pollution on Taylor's campus.
Hello, my name is James Sublett. My major is environmental science.
I'm Raina Hyde. So I work in the DC. I work the front of house and I also work in back of house.
How would you define pollution?
Pollution is when trash and things that are not good for the environment get into the environment and start wreaking havoc.
Pollution to me is basically just anything that's brought into somewhere like an environment and it has negative side effects. It's usually something like damages the environment.
What ways have you seen pollution affect Taylor?
There's a lot of plastic and a lot of just trash in general. You see it like the trash cans are always super full, like especially at the stew. The DC, whenever our dish machine is down, we have to use a lot of plastic, which obviously is not good.
I think Taylor in general kind of keeps kind of a low profile when it comes to polluting, especially when compared to like the rest of the world. But when it comes to Taylor, there's a number of things, like cars. And it's not that far to walk somewhere. People sometimes flush things or just put things down the drain that aren't really the best. Sometimes they aren't recycling, but people are pretty good at that. And the other thing that I noticed recently was there was some gum on some stuff.
What are some practical ways in which college students can reuse materials instead of throwing them away?
They could stop using so much plastic and a lot of the paper, especially like from Chick-fil-A. If they found a way to be like, hey, could you maybe put this in this container, or like not use the cups or the straws and just use their water bottles, like the reusable ones.
Plastic bottles and water filters. That is a big thing and something that I personally need to invest in.
Do you ever think of who picks it up?
All the time. We do, once we close down, we go through the seating area and we clean, and there's so much trash that's left behind. And there's even cups and plates that people just leave for us to clean up. But the trash can be quite ridiculous sometimes, just how much is left.
If you see trash, you should pick it up. It takes 5 seconds. And go to the nearest trash container or put it in your pocket or whatever. If it's really disgusting, then, I don't know, mention it to somebody.
In your opinion, what is the most wasted item on campus?
Napkins. All the time. Napkins, the salt and pepper packets, those I have to clean up all the time. Constantly.
All the plastic forks and silverware and plates and stuff, most of it coming from the DC, but also in dorms and stuff where people have paper plates and stuff like that. And then plastic cups and et cetera, et cetera.
What can people do to decrease the levels of pollution in their communities?
It's recycling and just being mindful of what it is that they're using, what it is that they can upcycle or just reuse, or find materials that are biodegradable. Bamboo straws are a good one. The rubber straws that are reusable that can be washed and clean, and storage containers, Tupperware, instead of going and getting the paper in the little boxes from Chick-fil-A.
Having trash cans nearby. If you have a trash can nearby, you'll be more likely to pick something up and just put it in that trash can. Recycling is also very nice. I think a lot of communities already have a lot of recycling stuff for them. And then education is a big thing. I feel like if in communities, if you educate people, they can come to a real understanding of how to treat the environment better and how to just be more efficient with things. And then another thing is if you spend more money on reusable items, in the long term, you are going to benefit yourself. And I think that's just a good thing for the community in general.
And that concludes this week's podcast.
Tune in next week, same time, same place for more Observations at Taylor.